morning. Welcome to the center. Would you like a program?
Good morning.
This is my welcome back committee.
Okay.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living.
There you go.
Best place to be on a Sunday.
All right.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the center.
I invite you to have a seat. Close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. This is a meditation from the Living the Science of Mind. Believing that God is the presence there is. Learn to feel this presence in everything and in everyone. Dwelling on the thought that God is love. Permit the mind to become filled with the consciousness of this love. Permit this love to envelop everything and everyone, bringing with it a sense of peace and joy and certainty. Realizing that God is life, open the whole thought to such a complete inflowing in this divine life that is seen and felt. The one perfect life, which is God, in people, in nature, animating every act, sustaining all movement. The faith in this life is complete, positive, and certain. Knowing that all things are possible to faith, say to the mind, be not afraid. Faith makes the way certain. Faith goes before and prepares the way. Believing that God is in everyone, meet this God in people and be one with everyone you meet. Knowing that God is peace, open the mind to the quiet influence and the calm certainty of this peace. And knowing that God is joy, meet every situation in happiness. Commit the life unto that power which can do all things with complete assurance. And now we sit in the silence for a moment. And when you're ready, open your eyes and see the wonder that life is. If you would just lower or close your eyes, take a deep cleansing breath. You know that as I speak these words, not only speaking for myself, but I'm speaking for each and every person that can hear my voice. I know that there is one power, one presence, one divine universal energy that is in and through and as everything, everywhere. I allow my awareness to expand on what this energy is, and I know that it is peace, it is wisdom, it is love, it is courage. And I know that since God is in and through everything, everywhere, it is absolutely having its way in and through me. And so I know I am one with every attribute of God. I am love. I am peace. I am wisdom, and I am courageous. Knowing that this is true for me, I know it is true for each and every person in this room,
and beyond. And so I claim and know that this morning is already blessed. I know from the music to the message, my heart is open wide to receive the gifts that are shared this morning, and in ways that I can take it out into my personal life, to my professional life, and to the world. I am what the world is waiting for. I know that each of us have a gift to share, and we do it with ease and grace and with the support of the divine. So for this, I am so grateful. And I'm so grateful for a place called the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living for providing me with the support and the tools to truly change my life. I'm grateful for each and every smile, each volunteer, each person who shows up and makes my Sundays so fabulous. So for the gift, for the blessings, and for this truth, I am so grateful to that universal law that is already making manifest every word exactly or in greater measure than I have spoken. And so with full faith and confidence, I release my word to that law, trusting and knowing it is already done. And join me in saying, and so it is.
This morning, it's just been so perfect because starting from Carmen and Lauren and Patty and Dave and oh my God, everything that everybody said, it all comes together. I'm so grateful to the ministers for giving me this opportunity. My life is closing a chapter and opening a new chapter. And in order for me to feel that it's complete, I really have to spend a few minutes sharing my love and gratitude to all that this center is and all that it has done for me in my life. It starts, of course, with the ministers who reveal the message and share a soul. It comes to the musicians who create a vibration here, you know, that it's the beat that fills this place with a rhythm. The practitioners who hold and know so much for us that we don't know about ourselves, but the truths that they can embrace for each of us. And to the congregants, all the people here who have shared all their heart and soul and love with each other. I mean, no place do we go run around for 10 minutes and just hug and kiss and I mean, it's wonderful, you know, it just gets you going. I came to this place about 10 years ago when it was Center for Positive Living. And that's what I really needed in my life at that time, was a big, big dose of positive. And I came to this place and I was going back thinking about my first few impressions, and there was Reverend STACI, who was just Stacy at the time, but at the door with her glow and her warm hug, she was the best greeter. And then Reverend Anna was there with her glow, who also gave us some of the best hugs. And Reverend Cynthia, who always seemed to have a message that spoke like only to me, at least that's how I always felt. And I knew after the first few times that this center was going to be my home. And it was the place where I would go to get a daily or a weekly dose of medicine to keep me alive through the week and have that positivity that got me through. And of course, it wasn't long after that you know, you become so, you want more. And so you sign up for classes and you participate and you just show up. And that's where I met two of my favorite teachers. I don't think I've said thank you enough to Reverend CHERYL and Reverend Dan. You really are great, great teachers. I had some trouble navigating some of the vocabulary and some of those concepts, as I'm sure many of you have. I'm still not sure omnipresent and all that stuff, but you know, I just had to hook into one simple thought. And that one simple thought was really deep, and it's something that I have to say kept me like grounded in a weird way. That thought is that your garden, and Elsie just said it right there, okay? Your garden can only look like the seeds that you plant in the environment where you plant them. If you want sunflowers, don't go planting carrots. And if your life is a swamp and your heart lives in tundra, well, you know what you're going to grow. Reverend Dan and I would always joke about how I could always seem to manifest what I wanted if I could only figure out what I wanted. And believe me, it can take a long time. Through the classes here, I worked through trying to figure that out, figuring me out, getting my life back to a nice fertile ground. And in the process, I had to give up my favorite song, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Now, you may not understand that, but after I took the classes, I said, oh my God, somewhere, sometime, someday, why oh why can't I? I mean, I personally found that depressing. And so I had to find a new song. Because I do feel like having a song that you can repeat in your head and repeat in your heart really helps get the music, the movement going. You know, that for me, it's keeping that vibration. And so suddenly my song became Cheek to Cheek. Now, here's how it goes. And I'm not a great singer, but I have to because it's the way I emote. So heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I can't believe the happiness I found when I'm out together. And then all of a sudden I drew a blank. Well, I don't think it's dancing cheek to cheek, but the thing was that I wanted that feeling. I wanted to think of the thing that I could do that would bring me that happiness. Because as they tell you in this teaching, if you can see it, if you can feel it, it will be possible. So, Diane, Spice Girls, what do you want? What do you really want? What do you really want? What do you want? What do you want? I mean, you'd think it'd be easy, but it's not. It really isn't, because sometimes what we think we want is just so superficial, and it isn't really what our heart is longing for. And that's where having great practitioner friends, like my friend Tina, who just kept asking me questions. Is that what you really want? And, you know, it's not the first time you answer that question. It's maybe the 10th or the 15th time that you answer that question, that you really get down deep into what it is you really want. And my vision became big, and it became real, and I knew what I wanted, and I felt it with all my heart and soul. And all of a sudden, my affirmations, you know, you sit there and you read and you say, but this time I really felt it, and I really believed it. And all of a sudden, that steamroller manifesting came, boom, 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 boom. Oh my God, you cannot believe it's real. And unless people keep standing up here and saying, oh my God, guess what, it happened to me too. Some of you will never believe it, even though I'm probably the 4th person to stand up here this morning and say, guess what, folks, it really works. And the thing is, this center is a place where you can find the fertile ground, where you can find those other gardeners to help you, where you will find people who will share seeds. I just really have to say thank you. And I want to share something from 8 years ago. This is my vision board from SOM 101. And it starts at the top with, the choice is mine, all mine. Underneath it says, imagine the possibilities. All around are the possibilities. And at the bottom, it says, happiness, missions accomplished. I don't need this anymore. I need to dream bigger. I have a new chapter to start. It's a place where my heart truly sings. I'm in heaven. But I also want to share one last thought for Reverend Cynthia, who founded this center. I wore my ruby slippers. And I'm going to stand here and click my heels. 1, 2, 3. And say, there is no place like home. Thank you very much. Your family.
having a good time? Yes. Okay, well, we're talking today. The theme of the month is accountability. And the topic I've been given to speak on is the courage to do the right thing. And it's so fitting and just that my friend James, Major James Combs, came today because he's one of the most courageous people I've ever known, and I've known him for a really long time. Yes, I know you want to give him a hand, don't you? Stand up. I was a civilian, and we shared an office. At the time, he was out processing or retiring from the Air Force. And by office, I mean closet, right? It was pretty small. But we got to know each other very, very well. So the topic I want to talk about is the courage to do the right thing. Now, even in that topic, it suggests that there's a choice of doing the wrong thing, doesn't it? Yeah. And so, we're talking about then this idea that plagues us sometimes of duality, of good versus evil, of bad versus good, of right versus wrong, in terms of the courage to do the right thing. Okay, so let's think about that for a minute. Now, there's some really good news already in the first 5 minutes. We are made, we are created in the image and likeness of God, which is the principle, the life force that is all good and only good. That's very exciting. So there's one life, there's one light, there's one love, and there's one truth. One. Very simple, isn't it? Is it simple?
Yes.
Yes. Is it easy? No. Because God is always being God. God is good. God is present. But we're complex. See, I think that's what's maybe going on in some of these cases that we heard about even this morning. The other good news is that we have the spiritual gift of discernment. Discernment. It is a spiritual gift. We intuitively know. We intuitively know which way we must go. We intuitively know what is the right thing for us. Is that true or not? Yes. Okay, so anybody that really doesn't know that, that's all right. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to unfold. And as Reverend STACI teaches us, first we pray. So if you really don't know about all that, then get with that practitioner today. After I finish, but today. Life affirming. Life affirming. Right versus wrong. Use of the law. So if I'm doing something that is life affirming and it hurts no one, it's against no one, because we're affirmative. Our prayer that we speak is affirmative. It is for something and against nothing. For something and against nothing. So for more peace, more love, more happiness, more harmony. In the Science of Mind, on page 270, paragraph 2, that is exactly what Ernest Holmes is telling us about this. So the courage to do the right thing starts with discernment. That spiritual, intuitive, innate understanding of what it is that I must do. What it is that I'm called to do. What's pulling at me? And sometimes we go, oh, be quiet. Does anybody say that? Oh, be quiet. I don't really want to hear about that. I'm going this way. And we call it sometimes that still small voice, but it's not that small, is it? No, not really that small. And when we don't, or at least when I say get back, I'm going to do something different. It keeps on coming. Like that Energizer bunny. Keeps on coming. Keeps on coming. And shows me in different ways. The courage, the spiritual gift, to be inclusive and universal. Character. Now I want to say something about the virtue of courage. The virtue of courage is universal. It's within every one of us, and studies have shown evidence that it's in every culture. Every culture has the same, because if it's, we all came from the same spirit, we all have the same gift, whether we're choosing to use them or not, it's there, it's available. That's what is meant by it's within every one of us to be wise. So, however, values do differ from person to person, from family to family, from culture to culture, but the virtue stays the same. Let me give you an example that came to my mind. The Asian Pacific War in the theater of World War II, occurring between 1945 and 1952. The last battleship, that whole situation. Courage. Now both sides, I'm going to say, had courage. But how it looked in the culture might have been really different. So one group thought it's heroic to take a stand for my country, for my people. I will fight till the end and beyond, and if I'm captured, if I'm missing in action, if I'm a POW, prisoner of war, I'm gonna fight to get home and carry my brother with me. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that courage?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Now the other side, equally displaying the spiritual gift, the virtue of courage, but it looks like this. I'm going to fight for my country. I'm going to fight for our people. I'm going to fight for our way of life. And I will die with dignity. I will die with dignity. And I will not be captured if I have anything to do with it. And if I am captured, I will take my own life. And if they had the opportunity, it would be, ritual suicide. That is courage. Or that was, or is, to those people at that time. I never can say it correctly. Hera. It's spelled, say it loud. That's what I always say, Harry, but I don't know that that's exactly right. But it's spelled Harakiri. The point being, courage, the spiritual gift, a principle of courage that is within every one of us, regardless of how we use it, is equally, it's universal, it's within every one of us, but it looks different perhaps, according to our culture and our values. That is what is different. Courage to reveal. Ernest Holmes said somewhere, I don't know the page number at this point, it's after reading so much for so many years, it's just back there in my own mind. But Ernest Holmes talks about revealing the self to the self. That takes courage, doesn't it? Revealing the self to the self. MJ, who's MJ? Yes, Michael Jackson. That's right, Michael Jackson. talked about change. Yeah, she knew. The man in the mirror. Remember that? It takes courage to look at the man in the mirror. There's something to see in the mirror beyond, lipstick. Yeah. Revealing the self to the self. Changing and coming in alignment with that true self, that higher self, that spiritual nature. All right. So here we are on that journey of awakening that takes courage to look at and accept who we really are and what we represent. Now, sometimes we think what represent is, what our job is, or our title is, or what we're wearing, and how much money we have, and, all the rest of that stuff. And that's out there, isn't it? And we like our stuff, right? Right? Like I love those red shoes she had on. I thought, hey, maybe we ought to switch. So here you have this gift, and this represents really spirit, all there is, and everything that ever was and ever will be is contained in there. And for the purpose of teaching, lesson, clarity, understanding, this is a teaching tool. And so we say in that first third, we basically say that's just pure spirit. We know spirit's the whole thing, but we say, hey, yeah, it's right there. It's spirit. And then right in the middle, that is the law of mind in action. Spirit operates through the law of mind to create everything that we see, everything that we have. The material world, I'm just going to call it that. Now this is interesting, and we don't really have time to explore this in depth, but the Trinity is interesting to me. And you will find evidence of the Trinity in religions, in magic, and really in witchcraft. You really will. One of the classes that I took was one of the most interesting ones when I was working, I think, on my bachelor's at that time, was this idea of seeing this theme. In the Catholic Church, what do you call it? The Father, God the Father, where's the Catholic? God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. See? And we used to call it, does anybody know?
Ghost.
Yeah, we used to call it the Holy Ghost. It's true. Okay, is it right? Raise your hand if you know that is true. See? It's really true. Yeah, they know. I don't know what changed. Maybe Ghostbusters. I'm not really sure. Which Pope said, no, we're not saying Holy Ghost anymore. We're saying God, the Holy Spirit. The Trinity. The Trinity. So we have the courage to see who and what we are. To listen, because we have the gift of discernment. To listen to who we really are, what we really represent, what we're really here to do. And we get congruent, get in alignment with that. And if you don't, I'm suggesting there's no hell or God that's going to punish you. It is by your own choices. It is by your own action. It is by your own interaction or lack of action. That you're not listening to Spirit that's speaking directly to you. Directly to you. You really can't live the other person's life. You really can't. No matter how hard you try. Or maybe the life that your parents thought might be good. And you thought that was no good. And so therefore there was something that looked like a conflict, correct? Because that inner world of thought did not match what was going on in the outer world of experience. So that is what we're looking at. Congruency leads us to where? Awakening. That congruency, that alignment leads us to that awakening that was already sung about or spoken about a few minutes ago. And you wake up to your own magnificence. You're a precious child of God, a child of the Most High, here for a purpose, to shine your light, your love, your creativity in the world. So this center and the global movement is taking a stand, has a vision. Now, a vision is a possibility, usually a grand idea that maybe hasn't totally taken form yet, but a way we can see a greater possibility for our own lives, a greater opportunity for the lives of others. And it doesn't seem to work if I have mine and you don't have yours, or I have mine but I'm keeping you from having yours. Or perhaps, is this what we do? The rich will take from the poor and the hungry and the disabled for ourselves, to enrich ourselves. Is that how it works, guys? Is that really, anybody think that's what Spirit is telling them to do? See, nobody's going to raise their hand on that now. Not in here. But I'm hoping to raise that awareness as we make our moral choices, as we have the courage to think for ourselves, to awaken to our own divinity. I want to tell you about the story of two grand banquets. We had fun last Sunday. All right. So let's just picture. Can you use the picture, what Catherine Ponder called the picture power of your mind? We say visualization, but you know, it's the same kind of thing. So please, will you just do that for me? Just inwardly picture this. Picture a beautiful, beautiful banquet with a round table. And on it, it was lavish. And tablecloth and candelabra and beautiful crystal and silverware and wonderful food, your favorites of every kind, was right there already prepared for you. Wow. And your guests were already seated at your table of honor, your table of joy, your table of abundance. And guess what? There was another one just like it, just for you, in the room next door. And you were so happy. It was so wonderful. You felt so rich and so blessed. And so you looked at your guests, and they looked affluent and happy, and you were going to go and join them when you said, wait a minute, I'm going to go check in the other room of my other guests. I had so many guests. There's so much love, there's so much friends, there's so many people that want to be with me. I had to get a second room. And I did it just the same. And so then I went to that room, or in this case, it's you going to your second room, this beautiful room. And then you took a look. And you looked at your guest. The rooms were the same, but the guest didn't really look the same. The guests in the second room were sort of scrawny and pale. And they looked hungry, even though all that food and wine and, you know, the whole thing was there. And you thought to yourself, what's the difference? What's the difference between my first room full of guests and wealth and abundance and this one? So you went back and you looked again. And yes, you saw the guests that were well fed, sort of round, sort of plump, sort of joyful. And then you went back and said, hey, what's going on with you? And you noticed that the people, the skinny people, not by design but by starvation, had this, I know some people think skinny's good, I have to really try to be clear here in this example. So they had really long, I'm going to call it 6-foot spoons. And so as they attempted to feed themselves, the spoon couldn't get to their mouth. And they had everything available, but they couldn't receive it. Okay, what are they doing differently in this side? So you go on and on over there, and you're checking it out. They have the same 6-foot spoons. So were they doing treatment? Were they inhaling? What were they doing? They had the spoons. And instead of trying to feed themselves, they reached across the table to feed each other. Learning to feed each other. So that vision of a world that works for everybody, in my view, we're learning to feed each other, to care for each other. And I think that that's the message. Do we have the courage to first face ourselves? That's where it needs to start. Because you don't even get to those rooms until you have really learned to face yourself. The courage, and then the congruency, and then to step up to make a commitment to do the right thing. And in this example, it was learning to feed each other. So I celebrate you all. I admire you so much for feeding me and my family when I came here. And I could hardly walk, Denise knows. Could hardly walk, limping. Needed surgery. Didn't want to get it. Wasn't that fun the first time? Literally. The first case, the last case, they call it complications. You know what that is? So that was it. And I remember sitting in the second row, and somebody up here, I can't remember the name, was singing something that I think, I'm going to have to say Protestant because I was Catholic, and a Protestant to a Catholic is a thing. Now I guess I'm a Protestant. I never stop talking about the Protestant. Okay, I think it was like something like maybe I'm not sure. Correct me later. Altar call, and it was that all my children, my grandchildren were up here. My son was sitting next to me. And the children from the center were up here, and he was like, come to the altar of God. And then I was walking with a cane, with great difficulty and great pain. And I just said, to myself, facing myself, I think I'm gonna go for it. And I left the cane. I got up, and I actually came up and joined when they asked for ministers, visiting ministers to come. Because I was here, retired incognito. They found me, they created a place for me, and there's a place for each one of you if you choose it. God bless you. Thank you for doing just that. Turning within and recognizing that there is only one life, one power, one presence, one love. And as I consciously unify with that, the word I speak now is the universal I, the I am consciousness that is inclusive, that is for something and against nothing. So joining right there, right now, I know that the fullest of life, the abundant life, the perfect health is being demonstrated in the physical body of those who are in harmony with this word. Abundance, money. I'll just go ahead and say money. Some people have a hang-up about money. We don't. So we'll collect that dirty money from anybody that needs to be relieved of it. Relieved of that burden. They are laughing, but I'm serious. We're building something in a world that works for everyone, and sometimes we use money.
Yes.
All right, and so there's people perhaps that are looking for something greater, affairs of the heart, in terms of loving relationships. And I know right now that that first relationship, that primary relationship, is the relationship with God. Seek the kingdom of heaven first, and everything else is now being added unto you, unto me, unto the eternal inclusive I am. And so I'm accepting all this and so much more in this world that already works for everyone to the level that they receive it, to the level of acceptance. And so I'm accepting it, I'm accepting it, I'm accepting it with an attitude of gratitude. I simply release this word, this prayer, into the law of mind and action, knowing that the blessing has been given and the blessing has been received. And so please just seal it with a kiss and say, and so it is. And so it is.